What's going on, YouTube? This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. I'm coming at you guys with a quick, unedited version. It's just going to be me and the tripod talking to you guys and talking about what direction the saltwater tank is taking. Now, you guys can see a cluster, yeah, I'm not going to use that word. I need to stop cussing. But you can see a big cluster underneath my sump. And what I'm doing is, I'm going to be revamping the tank. I drained the 55 gallon 80% because I need to redo it. I don't want to lose my saltwater tank because that's one great thing about my channel is the fact that I bring fresh salt and ponds. I bring everything and people love that. I got a mixed audience, and I think that's really what makes my channel unique, because you know there's people out there, you know, Dustin, he's got the plants, Joey's got he had stingrays, you know, and Jay Wilson's got African cichlids, but everybody knows me for having freshwater and saltwater tanks, and everyone loves the idea of seahorses. So it's still a big possibility of this tank. I either want to turn it into a seahorse tank completely or still a mixed seahorse, mixed fish reef tank, not too sure. But the first things first is I have to go and fix the problem which is under the hood. This tank was designed to have SPS corals. Now you can see the tank husbandry failed significantly. The sump is drained, that's just algae buildup that I can scrape off. We're gonna get it cleaned up. I'm gonna replace some of this tubing and whatnot and just revamp this system. But first things first, this is my RODI unit that I've had a couple years now, and I've always had it off camera. It was hidden away. I'm gonna do a video on RODI water a little later on, and why it's important, and I did one in the past, but I really want to revamp that and make it a nice edited video for you guys. But water in the reef tank is absolutely key, and some people have good faucet water or tap water. Unfortunately me, I have horrible water for salt water. It automatically feeds cyanobacteria and hair algae. It's just there's so much nutrients, the pH is wrong, everything is wrong for salt water. So first thing first is I got to make the water right. I don't know if you guys can see it, but those two clamps right there, that's where my sediment filter used to be. Water used to come through the sediment filter, go down to the carbon blocks right there, those two units which are empty, and then used to go into, I believe, the DI resin and then the RO membrane, or vice versa. It went to the RO membrane and it went into the sediment filter, the carbon, the RO membrane, and the DI resin. All of those units are used up. What I'm going to do is I got to replace my 150 gallon a day membrane. That's my RODI membrane. I've got to refill my DI resin, and then what I'm going to do is replace these two units. I'm going to make my first carbon block a 0.5 and then my second carbon block a 0.65 carbon resin. And what I did for sediment, my sediment filter was used up, and I don't want a sediment filter that's not clear. I want something that I can see, and that way I know when it's getting dirty. So I went to Lowe's, and my room's really dirty right now. That's why I'm not showing it, because I got tools everywhere down here, tools everywhere, because I just repiped half the basement. I did a house filtration system on my house. By the way, guys, the job that screwed me over, I was a plumber, so I know my stuff when it comes to that. And I wasn't a jerry-rigged plumber. I was with a big company. But anyways, that's my sediment filter. I got a sediment filter from Lowe's, and when that gets dirty, that's going to keep my RODI unit lasting longer. When that gets dirty, since it's clear, I can see what's going on. Manifold's not changing much, if not, maybe not at all. Only thing is, I might replace those tubings and put some black tubing on there to make it look clean. That way algae can't build up in there. It basically turns into an algae scrubber. Nothing bad, it's just unsightly. Hang on the back filter down there, it's not plugged up. I'm keeping that down there for a sediment filter, so when the water flows down from the overflow in the weir, it goes into that. There's only polyester pillow fabric. Same concept as a Micron sock. I don't like Micron socks because you have to replace them every couple of days, and you have to put them in the washing machine. You can never get them truly clean. So polyester pillow fabric is like $3, $4 for a big bag of it, and you just put it in there. When it gets dirty, toss it out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm running that concept again. I might put a filter in the sump so it collects all the waste that sells at the bottom. I've been thinking about putting a wave maker down there to kick up that waste. Not too sure yet. Phosphate reactor and carbon reactor, they're going to be working the same. I need to clean them up big time and replace their media. Phosphate media is going to go there. Carbon's there, same thing. Return pump, I'm actually thinking about putting a bigger return pump on here to feed more. More water flow. Water flow is key. This manifold, this branch right here, I always keep it empty because in case I need to run some kind of reactor, some kind of calcium reactor, maybe a chiller perhaps, which I don't need down here, but maybe something in the future I'll need. That's the main return. It goes into a UV light that shoots up into my display with the check valve. Some's going to pretty much stay the same. This is the unit I do my water changes with. I'm going to put a nice lid on here, make it airtight, silicone it up, put some float valves. There's actually a float valve right there. I got to get another one. But when I do my water changes, it's too much to talk about in this video, but it's a long story. I can do my water changes here, and I can drain the system with this tubing, connect to a garden hose, and turn that valve, and the pump will actually push water out of my system. And that leads me to my next thing I want to talk about. Water changes in salt water are kind of a double-edged sword, because when people do a water change, they usually just, you know, put their siphon in there and drain water out. Well, that's not doing any good. The problem I have with salt water is the fact that you're overflowing weir. The cuts, the slots are all the way up here. Even with my WP-40 and my return pump, stuff was still settling to the bottom. And that is the gunk that caused this tank to go down. So what I'm actually doing, the same similar situation to what's going on in the sump below, I'm actually going to install a Aquairum 5575 filter here and Aquairum 5575 here. I'm going to take all their media out and just run polyester pillow fabric. That way I can collect the gunk and I can exit out of my aquarium as fast as possible. eShot's protein skimmer is just sitting right there. You can see the intake. Not too sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to be running my Fluval LED lights, which I actually love. They're amazing light. Their penetration is really good. They're really good quality lights for Fluval. They've really done an outstanding job. And their Planet LEDs are no different. The Planet LEDs on my 125, I love them. And water changes are going to be easier. Maintenance on this tank is going to be easier. I can't wait. I'm not too sure on what route this system is going to be taking, but it's going to be an energy efficient system that doesn't break the bank. And I'm going to be talking about how I've thought of certain things. That way I don't have to go out and buy controllers. Neptune systems and Apex controllers are really good technology. I love them. They can help you. They're an asset. But you don't have to break the bank. You can use your head and get around some things. But there's everyone's got their own way of running their system. I'm going to incorporate the way that I used to do things before my YouTube channel when I had a full-blown reef tank, and I had more success back then than I ever did, and I'm going to incorporate it with the system now. I'm not putting a refugium on here. If I do put a refugium on here, it won't be under here. You got to be realistic. I've already thought about putting 2 55 gallons connected to this system and have it drain down to the sump and the return pump branch off. Maybe I can add some ball valves to the manifold. But with the refugium, you have to be realistic. You can't just expect to go out and get a little clump of chaetomorph this big and expect it to pull all the nutrients out of the water column that are produced by massive tangs and other fish that produce a lot of waste. It's just not realistic. Now, yes, people will go in sync with they'll go hand in hand with the protein skimmer, refugium, heavy media reactors, and then monthly or weekly water changes. Everyone's got their style, but realistically, you have to have a huge refugium in order to have any results that are noticeable. So, guys, I hope you liked this short video. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired, but I figured I might as well bring you something. So, guys, comment, rate, and subscribe. And once again, you can click on this video anywhere in the video, and you can see that the video that I posted today, I did post 2 for you guys because I wanted to hit freshwater and saltwater. Can't leave my saltwater people behind. Asthma attack. Can't leave my saltwater people behind. I'm really tired. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys next time. Comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. Later.